gentlemen, welcome to the 245th episode of the Geek First Podcast. I'm pretty sure I'm the master builder, Travis.
Wow, you snagged it. I'm the crawling around in vents, Taylor Field.
Wow, just using a spoiler for your nickname. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a review. We are dropping this the day that the movie came out. We actually got to see this a few weeks earlier, but I got big time sick, so we planned to release it early and we didn't, so that is my bad, but we're releasing it now. So here we are, we're doing Lego Movie, the second part review. We'll do non-spoilers and spoilers. I don't think this is going to be a long mass review, just kind of some quick thoughts of what we thought about this. So Taylor, start. What do you feel about the Lego movies overall? And how do you feel about this? Because obviously you never reviewed Lego Movie 1, but you're on Lego Batman.
I didn't review that one?
I think it was before the podcast, that's why.
Oh, wow. Oh,
so
yeah, you're right.
You did Lego Batman, and then you did Lego Ninjago, which Kirkland does not know exists, so... One time he just been waiting for Taylor to review it, and we said he has, and he goes, great. So, obviously give a quick rundown of the movies, and then a quick non-spoiler rundown of what you thought of this.
Yeah, I love the Lego Movie, the first one. I thought it was great. Lego Batman, I have the steel case for it. I think it's fantastic. A huge step up for the Lego movies. And Lego Ninjago, it was
You
okay.
said a huge step up.
Huge step up for the Lego movies.
So you think it was Lego Movie and then Lego Batman came out, and it was a huge step over the Lego Movie?
I think the Batman Lego Movie was a huge step over the regular Lego movie. Excuse me. I think it did so many good things. It was just a fun movie that was never boring. I never was slow. I thought it was great. I don't mind Emmett as a character, but there's certain things that just kind of find like, oh, well, okay, let's move along. It doesn't really work for me.
That is the most shocking thing of all time.
Well, Lego Batman as a character, he's honestly my favorite character out of all the bunch in the Lego movies. He's great. Not even because I'm a huge Batman fan. Like getting to know you, like being friends with you, I've gotten to know a lot of like the jokes that surround Batman and kind of the background. So now him as a character. Him as a character, really I can understand a lot more about him when the Lego movie kind of tackles him. But that being said, like I put Lego Ninjago under all of these, because it was okay, but I wanted it to be more expansive in the universe, I guess, kind of more like a Lego movie itself. But it was focused on Ninjago, which is okay. But yeah, I think this movie itself,
Taylor had a great theater going experience.
Oh fuck! I don't know what it is. You know,
First of all, I love that this is a review. Hopefully no kids are tuning in, because right away I asked how this experience. Taylor goes, oh fuck. And you know what, we didn't do it because we had some podcast stuff we had to set up, but I swear, Dylan and Taylor at one point we're talking about making this podcast clean, and we might in the future for advertisers, but those two swear just as much as me, if not sometimes more. No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm louder and I make a bigger moment. I'll be like, what then? I'll drop it. But you, we just did a podcast where you just dropped 8 F-bombs back to back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Check out Clone Wars Season 3 premiere retrospective.
No, don't. That's a mess.
Yeah. So, and first, before you set your stage, because it's going to be a long podcast, I was not planning on seeing this movie. I like the Lego Movie, but I was not planning on seeing it in theaters. Even with Cinemia, I was like, maybe I'll get to, maybe I won't. It was on a Saturday too, because we got an early screening, so I was planning on not seeing it all, spending the weekend with my lovely partner, my daughter. So thank you for them giving me the time off to go see this when I usually have that time for them. So I go see this because I'm like, Taylor, great, we got early screening, you can go see it, throw an early review for the podcast. He goes, oh, I don't know if I can. I'm like, you love the Lego movies, you went to Ninjago by yourself.
I didn't go by myself.
Well, whatever, you couldn't without the podcast. And he's like, no, you gotta go, or I'm not gonna go. I'm like, oh, he's like, I can't sit by a bunch of kids. So that's why I had to go. For Taylor's benefit, there were, the theater was sold out, and there was a bunch of people that brought their kids to the screening, so I get your point. But the thing is, also Taylor was a big time jerk, because I came there to watch the movie with him so he would not see the movie alone with a bunch of kids. I had to sit in the lobby for a good 15 minutes while there's just a bunch of kids.
15 minutes?
Waiting. I told you we'd be there in 5 minutes, and that was like 5:40, and you'd be, or it was like 5:30, 5:45, and you're like, yeah, I'll be there at like 6:55. Well, no, like at 5:55. So I was just sitting there because I wasn't gonna go to the theater and sit with all the kids and be like the one guy alone. So now continue.
That was my bad. I should have got there sooner.
You know his reason? He was playing Battlefront. He's like, I can't quit. This guy literally told me, he's like, I have 300,000 credits.
I have 80,000 credits.
He said 800,000 back. He's taking a zero down. He said I had 800 credits. So continue, but no, that's why you left me alone.
I didn't even finish my online game. It was overtime for a half an hour, and I thought, I'm just gonna leave, accept my losses, because I've waited a lot. I've made Travis wait long enough. That is my bad. But I got to the theater
5 minutes before the movie starts.
5 minutes before the movie starts. We went in, and I thought this is gonna be okay. Sure. In many experiences before, I've had to tell kids to be quiet during movies. Oh yeah.
You tell kids to be quiet.
Yeah, when I was watching Halloween at the Extreme, these kids were laughing, and I had to tell them to be quiet.
What is your definition of kid? Like, how old were these kids?
They were like 14 years old.
That's like a preteen.
Well, they need to learn their manners. I had to literally...
Have you ever told a kid that's 10 or under to be quiet?
No, I'm not a dick.
Well, okay, I wanted to reference that. Because I didn't want people thinking you're walking with these little 8-year-olds like, hey, you better shut the fuck up. I'm gonna get you kicked out.
But no, there's just certain kids and people that just... You don't dig into movies, and we went... me and
this is a kid's movie.
Well, don't take them opening night.
Oh no! They can take them whenever they want.
Oh fuck! It was during the day. It was on a Saturday, so I really got nothing I can say. But in this sense, when I went to with my significant other to The Incredibles 2, this kid behind me, she was obviously a preteen, you'd say, at scenes that weren't funny, this whole laugh would be like this,
You watching a movie with Santa?
Santa Claus laugh.
Hey Santa, shut the fuck up!
I'm sure her laugh will get better. Kids are kids, but she was laughing at everything.
Yo, Miss Claus, wanna hand on your man or come down and piss up the shit out of you?
Mr. Incredible would open up the door and be like, I'd be like, why is this funny? It's not even funny. And it was right behind me. First of all, that's not even the reason I was upset. The reason I was upset was because they took my seats.
Incredibles 2 isn't even funny to begin with. So
these kids, when I walked in there, I don't know why I've had this happen, but I walk in and these kids were in my seats. I'm like, excuse me, you gotta move. And they just...
You know the scene in Rogue One, they Darth Vader? That's Taylor's iPhone. Just hitting these kids out of the way.
Well, legit, I'm like, you guys are in my seats. They're just sitting there and they look at each other. I'm like, okay, you gotta get up. And she's like, okay. She looks at her friend. She's like, what seats do we have? And I whip up my ticket. I'm like, man, these are my seats. And she's like, oh.
This isn't even a story about what happened to this Lego movie screening.
No, at this Lego movie screening,
you know how many negative Podbay reviews we're getting right now? Man, it's been 10 minutes. They haven't even talked about Lego.
Bring on the Podbay reviews.
It's like we did Harry Potter. For people that don't know, we, for most part, if there's some fun banter before I say hello, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep in the podcast. So later at Harry Potter, it was Dylan and Jessica talking about some Pokemon stuff they bought, and on Podbear, they're like, they're so unprofessional. They didn't even know. They let it recording 5 minutes before the show started.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't even know that it was recording. Holly was like, we know! We've been doing this for years. We know what's in here. The question is, do you like what we do? Because this whole thing of us talking for 10 minutes before we get in the actual movie, if you don't like it, you gotta tune out now. It's not gonna get any better. So, and the good thing is somehow we're growing. So we're finding our people out there. Thank you very much. January, somehow our first month of 2019 was our biggest month of the podcast ever again. So you broke last month's record. So we're finding the people. But tell people this story. I don't need to hear
I'm going into the
beating
story
the kids
now,
up on Halloween.
So legit, I'm sitting in the theater and just, I don't know, it's just, at least the kids weren't laughing at anything. I can say that much. They literally didn't laugh till at the very end. There was one joke. Yeah.
No, people weren't really laughing at anything. I found the adults were laughing more than the kids.
Oh, yeah. So, legit, at one moment, I pull my shirt up over my nose, and Travis is next to me, and we both look at each other and lock eyes, and he starts to laugh. And I don't really know why you were laughing. I'm not sure why, because I couldn't tell if you could smell it.
No,
but the kid next to me was just fucking letting them rip on the nose tomorrow. God damn it. It was so bad. And his mom didn't even say anything. Jesus. Oh, if I brought a little kid and he was just literally... if he was just crapping his pants the whole time, I would literally take him out of the theater and be like, son, you need to tone it down a bit.
Son, I don't think you would. I really don't.
Oh.
You don't know what it's like to
Well, if I look to the person next to me and they got their shirt pulled over their nose, then something's wrong.
What if they just thought someone in front of them or beside you did it?
Oh, no, I think as a parent you know when it's your kid.
Did she look at you though?
No, I didn't lock eyes with her. I wasn't going to.
She may have never... You just lock eyes. No, They might also just think you're some fucking creepy pedophile looking at her with like, hi. Taylor always has a hat. So already has a hat, and it's like, hey, fucking Lego Movie Part 2. And then take a fucking maze. Okay, so tell us what you thought about the movie.
The movie overall, it was really good.
And I looked at you because I knew what was happening. I didn't smell, thank God, but I just knew Taylor's had a bad experience. But I felt a little justified because, well, Taylor made me come here and he was also late, so this is karma. So continue.
Oh no, I think the movie definitely had a lot of jokes for the adults this time around. There was so much stuff going on, and I like that, without spoiling it, it definitely focused a little bit more on like Batman as opposed to the other characters in this, and I just found like a lot of the jokes were just really fun to understand and just kind of laugh at. A lot of stuff that just was unexpected as far as jokes that they did, and there's one in particular which is really unexpected I loved. And it ties into my nickname, but
oh God, you just cannot
I know.
Something.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great movie and a good sequel, picking up like right after the first one, which I like. So yeah.
So yeah, I caught Lego Movie late just because I saw it. I'm a big fan of Lego, but I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And it's one of those, once people start talking about it, I couldn't wait to see it, and then I got it late, but I was pleasantly surprised. I just watched it again the other day because I wanted to reaffirm my feelings on this one as well, where it ranked. I've never saw Ninjago. I never played with Ninjago, so I had no interest. And even the trailers to me didn't really do it for me, so I let Taylor take the bullet on that one. I hope nobody was farting on that theater experience. Lego Batman is easily one of the best comic book movies ever because it is not in the sense of a Dark Knight or a Logan where it hits those strides of being super emotional and impactful as far as something as on a darker level and more personal. But as far as they do have a good emotional beats, and check out our review of that, but I just think it's it's up there with like Spider-Verse as well. They do different things, but just you can tell those people have such a love for the franchise, and that's carries over to this because obviously same producers, whether it's Lego or the other franchises or IP that they had previously in Lego Movie that they brought back, or new franchises, you can just feel the love they have for all these characters or all these certain things from people's childhoods. They just take a lot of care with them. There's a lot of really clever stuff in here. They have, I'd say, a similar arc to Lego Movie 1 where they had Will Ferrell's character, and you get something in the sense of there's an arc in the movie with Lego characters, but also something maybe you could attach to as an adult or a person. I won't spoil what that is in this one, but I feel like at the end of Lego Movie you could kind of understand what that's going to be, and you could kind of guess it, but it's a really good arc as somebody that has that experience in their life as well. It's charming, it's heartwarming. I would say it's definitely not as funny because I watched Lego Movie 1 yesterday and Lego Batman. This ranks the lowest for me. I haven't seen Ninjago, so that's out of the ranking. But as far as these ones, it's still good. To me, if you like the Lego movies, you're going to enjoy this. I don't think the material is as strong as the other movies. I think there is some stuff. Taylor's referring to one joke in particular that they really put in. There's one fun cameo they put in as well that I really got, and some of the adults were having a good time. So they put some stuff in there that's really like clever and a nice wink and a nod, and even just stuff you'll laugh at. You know your kids aren't even gonna laugh. Even the one that Taylor had to ask me about because I'm a political person. They put that in. I was like, that was really funny. So they're just putting in some really kooky stuff. I really like them, but lots of material didn't hit for me. There's one twist in the middle that you kind of see coming, but it's not anything that hurt my hindrance because this feels more kind of like a kid's movie than even a Lego Batman or a Spider-Verse. Even Lego Batman, I'd say, is a bit more kiddie, but it doesn't really have a twist to grade it on. Let's see, anything else? But yeah, that's the biggest thing. I liked it. I would rewatch it again, but it's nothing that I think at the end of the year I'm going to be talking about as far as being on my best or honorable mentions. I think I had an enjoyable time with it. I'll watch it again, especially because I have a daughter. It's a good kids movie. It's better than a lot of other ones out there. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's definitely more the weaker of the bunch. Mm-hmm. We'll do a quick spoilers. 3, 2, 1. I don't think we have much to say. I think we're just going to get into cameos and whatnot. So this is your last chance. You want to talk about Taylor? What you've finally been trying to talk about?
Yeah, when that Bruce Willis scene happens, it just totally caught me off guard. I thought it was really, really funny. I thought that it wasn't even overdone in like the 3 times they displayed it. I thought it was hilarious. So he's just literally what was the first time? He was literally.
Did you even say what it was?
Bruce Willis scene?
Yeah, but from Die Hard.
Oh, from Die Hard, yeah. So
He's
yeah,
playing John
I should
McClane.
specify that.
Like, he is Bruce Willis, but he's, like, pretty much playing John McClane. Yeah.
They call him Bruce Willis in it, didn't they? Yeah. But yeah, his first scene was he wasn't even in the vent yet, and then the second scene they were sneaking in the vents, and then he's in there, and you see him. He was outside first because I think Wild Style saw him, or like he was like, oh, it's Bruce Willis or whatever, and then she was sneaking out of the music room, and he was in the vents too, wasn't he? In there.
Oh, I missed the outside of the building. I thought the building was the first time in the vents we saw him.
No, he popped up before then. Like they threw him in. It was like unexpected. Like, oh, it's Bruce Willis or whatever. Like. Or something like that, like I'm not in vents all the time, or something like that. And then he popped up here. I don't live up there, yeah. And then he popped up in the vent when Wild Style found him, or someone found him, and then you hear him again talking through the.
Hey, is that Bruce Willis? Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like that. Also, I feel like I would love to see how they go on these cameos, but I feel like it's the same way when we do Geek for Stuff, whether it's a video or little jokes. I feel like it's just something that they got together and they really love. Like, what can we put in here? And it's just something that's clever because it's something that. It's clever the way they use it, but for me, I like that it's not, they get stuff like a Batman that's very popular, but then they get something like Die Hard, which is very popular, but not in the sense right now like everyone's talking about. They don't go for the low-hanging fruit and something like, like those, what were those bad spoof movies for all those times, like Meet the Spartans or stuff like that. Like,
God.
I know those are awful, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they could easily just go for the bigger franchises all the time, and that's where a kid's not going to get that. The kid isn't going to get, Ruth Ginsburg in there as like one like this big political like judge figure, one of the first female judges, and they put that in there where she's a part of
the wedding party,
and whatnot, and just like they're introducing them all, and then Ginsburg comes out and she's just dancing, and like me and the like adults and Taylor's definitely in the kids section. We had a good laugh, and yeah, I'd say that for audience wise, they didn't. Kids didn't laugh that much at it. It was pretty quiet. Like kids, it was quiet in the sense that kids were talking, but not in the sense they were laughing that much. So I don't know if that's a great sign or not. I would say that watching this again, I watched Lego Movie again. I should have said this in the non-spoilers version, but this sometimes felt a little bit like the old straight-to-DVD Disney sequels, because a lot of the OG cast is missing. You can tell Will Ferrell just went to a soundstage one day and recorded like 4 lines, because like he has 2 lines as Mr. Business and then 2 lines as himself, which that's the kid's got the biggest laugh at one point.
Where am I?
Yeah, in the real world, he is with Maya Rudolph plays the wife. And the only time you hear Will Ferrell get acknowledged with that character is you just hear him in the house. Like, kids, listen to your mother. Honey, where are my pants? The kids love that. All the kids, every single kid burst out laughing. It was crazy. But, so that's where, and then, like, Morgan Freeman's not back for this as, like, the kind of godlike figure, whatever he is. So I felt like we had, other than Batman, a lot of the lower tier people, and I didn't really cling on to any of the new people that much. Like, the Pirate guy got a lot more screen time, the Space Rocket guy, so I didn't like them as much. I liked Rex, but I feel like that twist we kind of all saw was coming, that he was going to be the bad one. But that was fun, but that's just Chris Pratt, so I feel like that's where the jokes were better, and also just I liked more of the characters they used the first time around. So I'm trying to think of anything else, and for spoilers, I like the dynamic of, like I said, it's very much like the first one where it was the dad learning to passing down his son. This was like a brother and a sister learning to come together, that they're very different, and you can learn that her sister, she's getting in the way of her brother all the time. That's not because she's trying to be a brat. She just looks up to her brother and she wants to play with him. Yeah. So that was, and I'm somebody that has a sister, so that was a big thing, because I have a younger sister. That was what very similar. You have that moment, I remember I built this thing with some of these baby blocks she did, and like I did something with like Donkey Kong, and I had a bunch of Donkey Kong toys, and one day I came home and was just destroyed, and I was just so mad at her, and I put so much work in it, I had loved it, and I love that Donkey Kong toy. I'm not sure if I still have it, but he was just, the proportions were great. So that really spoke to me. So I don't have anything else to add spoiler-wise.
I really didn't like the fact that the movie had, I wish it was just about Lego. I didn't like that there was like Duplo. I didn't like the Lego Friends kind of figures in there either. I'm not a fan of that. And one thing that
that's
really,
the whole point. You're supposed to be embracing.
Not my Lego.
Oh, wow.
No,
you're supposed to be embracing that, because you'd have to do that because it's showing that she's a different play style than the brother, right?
Maybe when I was little I could do it, but now I'm with what's his name? Captain Business, or I can't remember his name.
Mr. Business.
Mr. Business. I'm with Mr. Business. Will Ferrell's character. I won't glue my Lego sets, but I believe build them, keep them in their prime condition. That's the way to go. You know, and
Such a loser.
but that means that
Which you can say that he's not a big Emmett fan, but that's Taylor in real life, ladies and gentlemen. That 100% is, so. Watch both movies, that's Taylor, 100%.
But yeah, so another thing that really bothered me was there was no Star Wars Lego in this movie whatsoever. It was in the first Lego movie, and I feel like they
I
missed a big
rewatched
opportunity.
it, but it was just one quick scene, so
It was, and I wish it was more because honestly, like that's such a huge market.
Marvel's not returning our calls. I like that.
That was
show.
good.
Yeah.
Another thing too is they showed the original Bionicles in a split-second screen in the first Lego movie, and I love that nod. I think that was fantastic that they gave it recognition, especially because it was the old school Bionicles. The fact that I wish they had it in some shape or form. I feel like they missed so much with this movie. I feel like they could have had a Bionicle. They could have brought back bring in some Lord of the Rings Lego, bring in some more Star Wars Lego. They could have had so much fun. I like the fact that they had the Raptors, but again, I feel like they should have made a mention of Jurassic Park Lego, because that's a huge thing right now is Jurassic Park Lego. But that being said, those are just things that really upset me, I guess, quite a bit. It doesn't super take away from the movie because I still had a good time with the movie.
That's why sometimes to me it felt like a little bit that it was like a straight to DVD version and it had a lower budget. So I don't know. I think Bionicles, that's just a personal thing. Maybe your Bionicles group that you got kicked out of is talking about that too. But
probably I'll never know because I got banned.
Yeah. So
I really like the Batman rap, and I love when he's dishing it out on Superman, "Hey Soups" or whatever he calls him. And I can't remember the lyrics to the song, but there were just so many insults that were thrown in there that were just so good. And I just thought it was really funny.
Really funny. I would give this I'd give this a 6.75 out of 10. It's not quite a 7, but I think it's a little higher than 6.5, so that's what I would
You gave Batman a 10 out of 10, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would give this movie, I can't even remember what I gave Lego Ninjago. I'll probably give it a 6. I'll give this a 7 out of 10 just because not a proud 7 out of 10. I'm giving a 7 out of 10 just because I want to make sure it's higher than my Lego Ninjago vote rating. So because it's definitely, for me, it's Lego Batman, Lego Movie 2, and then Lego Ninjago. But I'm very much excited to see what they do next. I don't want a Lego Batman 2, even though I feel like that's something they probably would do because
You don't want it?
I don't want it because I feel like I feel like they won't be able to recapture the success of the first one in this one. I feel like that they need to tackle something completely different in the Lego universe and then incorporate Batman into it like Lego Movie does. Because I feel like they did such a great job the first time, they can't replicate it. I feel like not even Lego is capable of that. Again, I feel like Lego Movie 2 proves that. So...
Wow. Yeah, my pitch is I want Lego Justice League. I think that's the way to go. I think there's so much potential to do, Superman and Green Lantern have a good connection there. Obviously got Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. I think that's where you could get more Batman in there. They have a lot of DC jokes in this, and that still works very well.
3 films in development right now.
Yeah, that's a great line. They got a good Aquaman joke in there, so I think that's what I would like. Is maybe you're right about Batman, but would you be fine with the Justice League film?
I'd be okay with the Justice League, absolutely. I love that. It was all the.
We ain't get a live action Justice League anytime soon, so.
Yeah, I think all of the really relevant stuff they did with the DC stuff, even Aquaman saying "my man,"
My man.
that was so funny. They just threw that in there, so I'm a big fan. I love that they just shot on Green Lantern when he popped up. So I don't know. It's some funny stuff.
Bad movie. Taylor, where can they find us?
They can find us, ladies and gentlemen, in the search bar with your internet connection or your data, because we're data worthy. But if you want to save your dollars, you can donate to us on Patreon because we are worth it. Data, money, all of it. We have such great content right now. We got Star Wars: The Clone Wars retros available on Patreon. You can check out Lord of the Rings Hobbit retros on Patreon as well. There's tons of good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find this and so much good stuff on our social media networks at Geek First Space Podcast.
You should have been at the beginning of what's happening on. We should have both. What's happening on Facebook.
On Facebook, there is a lot of stuff going on. Me and Travis, we're doing a lot of networking, getting out into the community right now on Facebook, trying to get out there. And right now, we currently...
You don't need to tell them the whole attack plan. You can just tell them that you created a group and that there's...
I was building it up, yeah.
No, that's not building up. That's just revealing what we do behind the scenes. So that's cool. Before Taylor rants, you can go... At this time it's live. go to our Facebook page. The Star Wars polls are happening, but then you can also vote for the Golden Geeks. We're going to have those up there, so please, you'll get to see all our nominees. So whoever gets that vote will be the fan winner, and there's 6 of us on the podcast, so if there ends up being a tie, you guys would break the tie and give the actual Golden Geek to somebody. So it's lots of fun, and definitely keep doing those Star Wars polls. And then also as well, too, there's a place that you've created.
Yes. The Geekverse, we officially put out a group on Facebook for everyone to join in. So it's one thing, to like a page and you get all of our media, all of our content just dropping down there. But, it's you can send us messages through that, but it's a whole other thing to actually, work in the community and build up a community centered around that kind of content, like the Geekverse and everything else that you love. Your Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, your Harry Potter, your DC, your Marvel, all the universes just thrown into one, just for everyone to discuss and come together in the community. So we've created the Geekverse Planet of the Fans. So this is basically a piece of the Geekverse inside this universe that you can dive into. And it's available through our Facebook page on Google or on
$5.99
a minute. And no, you just tune into it, and it's easy, free to join, and it's open for everyone. We do have a certain set of rules we want to follow. Just be respectful, responsible.
We're not showing rules, just don't be offensive, and we promote that here. We can have some fun. If there's nice heated debates, let's go ahead, but no insults, anything like that. And make sure when you do your other reviews this week, make sure you pimp that. I'll pimp that too.
Will do.
And that's just for, honestly, too, if you want to discuss stuff, and we're going to be in there. We'll talk to you. We might even post stuff in there if you want to talk about stuff we said in the episode. If you know what, this would be a perfect time. You want to tell us about your terrible theater experiences, maybe we'll make that a topic one there, and you can see if anything's been worse than what Taylor Field's gone through. So...
Yes. One last thing. It's completely fan run, so you guys are posting and everything in there. Like Travis said,
it's not completely fan run. Don't give them a bill of lies. We can kick any of you if we wanted to.
Oh yeah, we can drop the band hammer like the Bionicles did to me. So. But that being said, who's to say I won't, employ like some super dedicated fans to give them the rank of moderator to help, manage that, because we're busy guys, we're running the Geekverse, we got lots of stuff to do, so but we want to give you guys more, ability to just free roam and communicate and share in our passions.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, very much. If you want to hear this podcast or see it, go to the description down below. That has all your links for your video and podcast needs. Please like, subscribe, and rate. That helps us a lot to spread the word and meet more fans so we can get in the group and talk to you guys and meet you guys and gals. So thank you very much. When you hear from us next week, we're doing fucking terrible. We did not do any plugs at the beginning of this. It's so bad. We're going to do... No, this is out after all that, so it doesn't matter. Whatever happens next week, I don't know, but it won't be boring.
Bye-bye.